Call to order. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Code Enforcement Board regular meeting on Tuesday, September 13th, 2022 at 1 p.m. Please silence your cell phones. And Ms. Thompson, can you please do the roll call?
Of course. Member Murray,
Present.
Member Cherbini, Member Axelrod, Member Perlman, Member LaSorsa,
Present.
Vice Chair Perlow,
Here.
and Chairperson Slam.
Yes.
We do have a quorum. Not yet,
There's nobody on Zoom?
Nobody on?
Just
not yet.
Yeah.
What's on vacation?
All right. Well, we have 4. That's enough. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Did everybody see the agenda? Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move the agenda be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion, the agenda is approved. Now we have swearing in of the public. For those giving testimony related to the case you're affiliated with, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn. And Ms. Thompson is going to swear in those people giving testimony.
And also, if you're not sure if you're going to give testimony, you should probably stand as well, just in case. By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay, on to public comment, limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Is there anyone here who wishes to address the board for a public comment? You do? Okay. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, board. Thank you for allowing us to attend this meeting. We do have an issue of us, which is involves asbestos removal. And oh, I'm sorry. And what it is that there's just an ambiguity to go on.
The mic's not on.
So we're just not sure how some of these things work. And we're hoping that there's some type of.
My name is Robert Lozano. I'm a Florida licensed asbestos contractor. And in regard to asbestos issues, there's ambiguity that's going on with the city and the counties. And we're hoping that there could be some sort of workshop or something to advise us legitimate contractors as to how the process works so that we don't stumble upon this unique situation, as there are multitudes of laws and regulations. So that is my only request, is that hopefully that some education can come out of this and we can learn something from it to hopefully never stand before you guys again. That is all.
Okay, you might want to go to a regular commission meeting. And you could get the schedule and address the whole commission about this, because we're just code enforcement, you know. All we do is we hear violations and we look at the codes that we have for this town and enforce them accordingly.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. August 9th, 2022. Are there any corrections to the minutes of August 9th, 2022? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of August 9th? Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Unfinished business, there is none. So now we're on a new business. First case we have today is Javier Alvarado. That's 3300 South Ocean Boulevard. It's the Seagate of Highland Beach condo. And the violation alleged is plumbing work without a permit. Do the board members have any ex parte communications to disclose? This time, I now open the violation hearing. I turn it over to Code Enforcement Officer Adam Ozowski for testimony and recommendations.
This is case number CC 2022-05013. My name is Adam Osowski, Town of Highland Beach Code Compliance Officer, and I have been sworn in. The respondent is Javier Alfredo. The property address is 3300 South Ocean Boulevard, 819-C is the unit. Code Compliance Officer Manco inspected the property on May 24th, 2022. The violation as cited on today's agenda is 30-122A, plumbing work without a permit. The notice of violation was served by posting on May 24th, 2022. The respondent was given 14 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building record on September 6th, 2022, and the violation has been corrected. I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends that the respondent be found in violation as alleged in the notice of violation. And the town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by when you determine.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions for staff on this? My only question is, what is this picture of here?
That I saw that this morning as well. That should be a picture of a posting. I'm not sure why it printed out like that.
Okay, so the violation has been corrected.
Correct. They obtained the permit.
They obtained a permit. It was plumbing work? you
Yes,
said? Okay, so you're asking just that they cost of prosecution,
correct. And that the order they've been found in violation.
that they've been found in violation?
Yeah, so if it ever happens, they do it again, it would be by state statute or repeat.
Okay, is Mr. Alvarado here? He is. Would you wish to speak on this? No? Okay. So the suggested motion on this would be that there was a violation. Two violate.
No. She was saying.
Single violation, okay, that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged. And that the and prosecute, okay, so that it's been corrected prior. And we assess the cost of prosecution. And no, what's no, I'm talking about the the future order,
Do not repeat.
do not repeat. Do we do that?
Yeah, well, it's, once you find them in violation, it's essentially do
Okay.
not repeat because any futures would be.
Right,
repeat
right.
violation.
Okay, who's doing the motion?
I'll do it. I move that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation, is now in compliance, and a do not repeat order be issued. And that $250 of prosecution costs be assessed.
Can you just say within 30 days? We just need a time frame for the,
Within 30 days. Within 30 days.
thank you. No. It's off script.
Yeah, sorry. Did we do it again?
I said.
Okay, sorry. I move the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation, are now in compliance and that a do not repeat order be issued, and that $250 in prosecution costs be paid within 30 days.
Is there a second?
I second. We third it.
Same time? Okay.
She can,
Okay. Member Murray,
Yes.
Member LaSorsa,
yes.
Vice Chair Perlo. Yes. And Chairperson Slam.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, on to the next case. Case number CC 2022-07-001. It's Nicholas Perricone from the Ocean Place Villas. And this one, there was two different violations observed. One was lighting restrictions for protection of the sea turtles, a violation of that. And the second one was, once that was investigated, it was discovered that there was work going on inside the unit without a building permit. So we have Code Enforcement Officer Stozowski.
This is case number CC 2022-07001. My name is Adam Osowski, Town of Highland Beach Code Compliance Officer, and I have been previously sworn in. The property address is 4211 South Ocean Boulevard, Unit 2. Building official Jeff Remus inspected the property on July 11th, 2022. The notice or the violations that remain as cited on today's agenda are 30-122A, building permits required for interior work. The notice of violation was served by posting on July 26, 2022, after mail was sent on July 11th, 2022. The respondent was given 14 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building records on September 9th, 2022, and the violations continue to exist. I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance. The town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
The turtles, and then what about the other stuff?
The turtles were in compliance. They turned the lights off, and then that's when Mr. Remus observed the work without a permit.
So the work is still continuing.
It is, and there was a permit that was applied for, but it hasn't been issued yet. So they're still doing the work without the issued permit.
They're still working without a issued permit?
I haven't had any contact with them since, so I would think so.
Well,
Oh.
that's my next question. Is Mr. Perricone here? Anyone, a representative of Nicholas Perricone? Okay. Well, if there's nobody here in his defense, then, you know, we have no choice but to go with Adam's version of events here. And you know, I can't make a motion, but I recommend something along the lines of two separate violations, one that's been corrected, one that has not been corrected. And
So we,
Sure.
Well, I got a question for us. You're not sure if they're working there still or not, right? You gave them a stop work order?
The town did, yes, and I've had no contact. I haven't been allowed back inside since. And I just want to address another question. The turtle light isn't, I didn't bring that forward because that was in compliance before we got to this point. The only thing I'm bringing forward is the work without a permit.
okay,
Right, so here, if we have work without a permit, that's the violation.
That's the
$250.
violation.
that's the violation, but
So how do we determine
whether it's
when
continuing,
the date would start for the $250? Because if they're still getting his permit together, but if he's working, that's a problem. But if he's not
It's
working.
gonna be as of today. As of today, any continuation of work
is
without a
further-
permit will be $250 per day.
Right.
As of today, because they've already been warned. They've
Okay,
already
so
been
as
told
of
to
today,
stop.
okay.
Well, it depends on how you phrase the motion. You can start it today if that's your choice.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not gonna make it retroactive.
But I'm just saying, sometimes you'll give a correction period.
Well, that's sensible.
And how much time do you suggest because the permit is not in yet?
I mean, the permit can take 14 days. I mean, honestly, they're pretty quick. They can get them out within 3-4 days.
So by the
But-
end of the month?
Yeah,
He
I mean,
would-
I would suggest 14 days. That's just the standard rule when we tell
Okay,
people.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Someone make the motion.
So we have to do number 3.
Single violation.
Okay, I'll make the motion. I move the respondents be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation, and that he or she be ordered to comply by the end of, 14 days from today. It's 14 days from today and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance, and assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance. Anyone?
I
Second.
second that.
Vice Chair Perlo,
Here.
I have a question on that last one. Compliance would be the issuance of the permit, right?
No, it's the compliance is 14 days from today, correct, Miles?
It's the.
They
issuance of
have
the
to
permit.
have the permit.
But they still don't.
Applying for it is not, and they're still working
Yeah,
while the application is pending. That's not in compliance.
nah,
Well, we don't, I don't know if we know they're working or not. There was a stop work order issue.
There was a stop work order. I haven't been allowed inside. The compliance would be once the permit is
It's
issued,
ah,
because once they submit it, it first has to go under plan review.
Right.
So once it's issued, it's past everything, that's when the work can start. And
So they have 14 days, and then if you can prove that they're still working,
No, if they don't have a permit.
If they
within
don't
they
have
don't
the
have a
14
permit.
days. If it's
and you're
not
still
issued,
working.
well, it doesn't.
we don't know.
We don't know, but if they don't have a permit issue within 14 days, the fines. will-
So
The
14
work that
days.
the work they started without a permit.
that's right.
That's
So
correct.
whether they're still working.
Even
or
if they
not,
abandoned
started.
it, they still need a permit.
That's
Right.
right.
Need a permit.
Correct.
Okay,
okay, I need a roll call on that motion. Vice Chair Perlo,
yes,
Member La Sorsa,
Yes,
Member Murray,
Yes.
Chairperson Slam,
Yes.
motion carries.
Next case number CC 2207-002, Ina Mikhailova. And it's, I think I pronounced that right. I don't know. 3301 South Ocean Boulevard, Unit 608. That's the Ambassadors. Ambassadors South. Building permits required, violations was demolition of a gypsum board reportedly containing asbestos in the kitchen and a wall on the other side. Work performed in a threshold building without the required permits under Florida Building Code. Does the board have, members have any ex parte communications to disclose? At this time, I now open a violation hearing.
All right, this is case number CC 2022-07002. My name is Adam Osowski, and I've been previously sworn in. The respondent is Ina V. Mikhailova.
Mikalova,
The property address is 3301 South Ocean Boulevard, Unit 608. Building official Jeff Remus inspected the property on July 13th, 2022. The violations that remain as cited on today's agenda are 30-122A, building permits required for removal of asbestos. The notice of violation was served by mail that was sent on July 21st, 2022. The respondent was given 17 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building records on September 9th, 2022, and the violations continue to exist. I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance. The town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
Does the town staff, sorry, does members have any questions on this?
I have a question. So they got a permit for the work, but they didn't have a permit for the asbestos removal? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
the work is the asbestos removal. Everything they did was to remove the asbestos.
Okay.
Any other questions for staff? The offender, is he here? She, I'm sorry,
She is not, but her contractors are.
her
Oh,
contract.
the contract.
Those, yeah, okay, if you wish to give testimony, please come up, provide your name and affiliation with the violation.
My name is Robert Lozano. We're a Florida licensed asbestos contractor, and the violation is removing identified asbestos materials without a permit. This project was considered a small scale, short duration project, which involved less than 60 square feet. The gypsum material itself did not contain the asbestos, but there was a texture coating on the outside of the walls that did contain asbestos materials. This was the result of a water leak. Damage had occurred. The homeowner has a disabled child or a mentally challenged child and a wife who has ongoing ailments. So time was of the essence to rectify this problem as mold was starting to become a very constant problem and causing adverse health effects. Our definition of a threshold building as per the NESHAP codes is any facility that involves less than 160 square feet of materials only requires a notification to the county. We did supply a courtesy notification to the county for a small scale short duration project. At the time of our removal, Mr. Remus showed up stating that we were in violation of a threshold building. And at the time, we were unaware that a threshold building had a different definition. So whereas we responded back in an email, provided the statement of responsibilities, the owner has since, due to the health complications and with a contractor who was in the process of pulling a building demolition or a building permit, it was in process while we were in removing the small scale short duration process. From what I understand, the reason the owner has not continued with the permit process because with a language barrier, a foreigner to this country, the property being under his wife's name, who's not quite completely involved in this, has decided to stop all production, not to proceed any farther, and has elected to sell the building. And at this standpoint, one, we're not sure of the violation for such a small scale, short duration project. The material did test positive for asbestos. We have that documentation. We submitted all the paperwork to the county. And hence, again, we're just not sure what our violation is for not being in compliance for such a small project that was relatively minor and completed in 1 day, less than 1 day.
We ask you a question.
Yeah, ask some
yeah,
questions. I'm confused.
I happen to
I heard you.
be a supervisor for asbestos removal. I
Congrats,
went to
welcome
the
to the
course.
club.
So here's the question. You submitted to the county for the removal,
We if it's less than 160 square feet, which is their threshold,
right?
it is called a courtesy notification. And there's two classifications on that courtesy notification, renovation or demolition. We are under a courtesy renovation. Now, we are not obligated to submit it, but we do just. for
Did you
reasons like
submit that?
Correct.
Okay, that's very good. All right. How did you determine there was asbestos?
There is an independent testing company, where as an abatement contractor, we're not legally allowed to test our own asbestos materials for the fox watching the hen house type scenario. So an independent licensed consultant came in and ran samples, and out of the 6 or 8 samples that they had tested, only the textured coating on the drywall contained asbestos. And I have a copy of that report, should you like to see it.
All right, so is there other renovation work going on in there?
No, sir, everything has since stopped. The
It's
owner-
only this? I have to be honest with you, I've had the same issues with roofing material under 100 square feet, and usually it's just the county. I don't know that this is really.
I think
For
this
us?
qualifies as an emergency
Yeah,
situation
This purview,
for
is for
people's
this.
health is at stake.
yeah, that's not,
Yep.
we shouldn't punish somebody for that. That's a little health issue, and it's not, the square footages are so minimal. And you contained everything already?
Yes, sir, we are required to, and we also submitted your statement of responsibilities, notifying
Yeah.
you guys that
And they did.
What they had
notify
to do.
The authority that they look to for those.
Yeah,
particular things.
all they're required to do is give notice, a courtesy notice.
To
They're not
account.
required to receive a permit for
Right.
this,
For this,
for
agreed.
this.
had it been larger than 160 square feet, we would have been dealing a whole,
The whole, right.
you wouldn't be
right.
seeing us.
It goes to another level. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
In my mind, that this is a no violation.
But apparently Jeff Remus thought it was about.
Well,
Right.
because he sees construction.
I think this
But
is
he-
number 2.
This was emergency.
Correct.
You got a health issue
No.
there. That's different.
Yeah.
When you got a health issue.
This is a
I'm sorry.
different scenario.
When you got a health issue.
not
I apologize.
Construction or even plumbing,
I-
we're talking about asbestos.
I'm sorry, Miles. but-
No, I agree with.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
think
saying.
this is not a non-issue for us. I think they need to take care of this person's health. They have a child with disabilities.
Yeah, that's not really even relevant to
Well,
it. What is relevant is anybody that's got asbestos
This could
in their
accelerate.
house. That's gonna qualifies as an emergency.
You know,
Get it out,
they used to use this-
to get a permit could take a week, 2 weeks. That's where they're breathing asbestos in that time.
when it's
know,
friable, that's when you breathe it. But they used to put it as a food source.
Okay.
We used to eat it.
What did we used to eat?
They used to put it
Asbestos.
as a filler in food sources. asbestos.
Asbestos?
Oh, God.
I'd like to talk with you afterwards.
All right.
You left the.
But I'll also add one more note, because it's that under that threshold of what our designation is, the county doesn't even come out and inspect us. If they do require, and they haven't done so yet, was just to show pictures of our containments, our machines, people in the proper PPE, and then we move on.
All right, good deal.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
guys.
All right, so I make a motion that there's no violation.
Fine.
I move that there's no violation of the town code as alleged in notice of violation.
I heard a fine in there.
No.
Oh,
Is there a second to that?
Second, first, second.
Member La Sorsa,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Perlo,
Yes.
Member Murray,
yes.
Chairperson Slam.
Yes,
Motion carries.
We're absolved.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're one of the few.
You're one of the few. Yes.
One of the
Second time
few
in my
shows
career. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you all a very good day. My son is entering the business, so he came along for this experience, and we can leave now, son.
We see him graying already.
Oh, I hope to never see you guys again.
Yep,
Hopefully not.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
thank you. Okay. Let's get on with the next one here, which is case CC 2022-07-003. And that is Jill Giles at the 4023 South Ocean. Is the right one, right? Oh, here it is. Okay. Lighting restriction again for the sea turtles. Repeat complaint about exterior lights left on during turtle season at night. Then also noticed electrical work being performed. Then noticed exposed framing near a fireplace. In the kitchen area, there's a bathroom that was gutted, getting a full remodel.
Hmm.
So initially it was just lights left on for the turtles, and then all this other stuff was discovered in the process, right?
Correct.
Okay,
And the lights are in compliance before we got here.
the light was in compliance, so,
I'm just here.
so
for
the light
building
was like the
permit.
probable cause, right?
It's the
The
poison.
light's the probable
Un-
cause for the search.
Right.
Sorry, I'm a defense
Unfortunately,
attorney, so.
correct. All right. This is case number CC 2022 70003. My name is Adam Osowski, Town of Highland Beach Code Compliance, and I've been previously sworn in. The respondent is Jill Giles. The property address is 4023 South Ocean Boulevard. Building official Jeff Remus inspected the property on July 14th, 2022. The violations that remain as cited on today's agenda is 30-122A, interior remodel without permits. The notice of violation was mailed on July 14th, 2022. The respondent was given 14 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building records on September 8th, 2022, and the violations continue to exist.
Hmm.
The contractor did submit the permit back in July, but hasn't followed through with the permit since then. I've submitted following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents and photographs. And the town recommends that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance. The town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
We
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
we
you
have
asked-
questions? one at a
So the
time?
turtle thing is already, that's okay.
Correct.
It's
What-
just the other stuff that was found,
Correct.
a single violation of, even though there were multiple things found.
It's the single for, it's all work without a permit, whether they did one room or a different room,
Right,
they need a permit. They need
Okay.
the one permit for everything.
thank
And-
you.
And it looks like Ms. Giles is in Memphis, Tennessee, unless she's,
Oh,
oh, she is here,
Yeah, I
okay.
was gonna say that.
Okay, more questions.
The contractor, like, comments been given to him in order to finish the permit.
Correct. When
He
they,
hasn't addressed it.
correct.
But that's,
That's,
he's slowed it down.
Yeah. I believe the respondent will address that
Yeah,
more in detail.
okay, let's have the respondent. That's
Ms. John,
Giles.
I'm Jill Giles. I'm the owner of 4023 South Ocean Boulevard. I had a contractor, I stress the word had, who I asked repeatedly to comply with the permit situation. He assured me repeatedly that he did, up until yesterday, when I fired him, because he obviously can't follow through on things that he's supposed to follow through. So I am in the process of hiring a new contractor. I am also in the process of applying for the permit myself. I have the documentation that was asked for, and hopefully I can clear this up. I'm just asking for some time to get my ducks in a row. I came from Memphis in order to do this, and I apologize. This is not the way I like to do business.
What type of work is being done?
Well, we were going to change the surround on the fireplace, just the granite, I guess is what you say.
That's stuff. Are you doing any plumbing or what?
Well,
yeah,
okay, so it isn't really structural. All I'm doing is replacing the tiles, I guess is what you would call it. Okay. He did start to demo a bathroom. I asked him for permits. He told me he was getting permits. He apparently did not get permits. And also he took down a light fixture, so there was a wire hanging in the ceiling.
It's not a unique issue. I mean, we get this a lot. People hire contractors and they expect that they're gonna do what they're supposed to do and get the job done and,
This is it.
you know, and you're out of state, of course, so that, you know, it makes it tough, but you know, unfortunately, this is like strict liability. You know, it's someone has to be responsible for it and it's the property owner. So, you know, you did the right thing by firing a bad contractor. Give him a bad review on Yelp. So somebody else hires. But you know, it's you know, it's unfortunate because I know it's not you personally, you know, and does anybody have any questions of the offender?
You engaged a licensed contractor at this point?
I have someone that I'm going to hire, yes.
So,
Well, we need the gentleman wanted to speak or what? Are you,
Mhm.
you were sworn in? Are you her
He's a friend.
friend?
He's a
You're her friend,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Licensed in Tennessee and Mississippi. Not licensed in Florida.
Right,
I came down.
Sir, you need to. speak
yes,
into the
let,
mic.
My name is Darren Bomarito. And I flew down to help my friend work this situation out. It's gotten ugly. The turtle issue has been satisfied.
we pulled the lights. I
Mm,
just said,
we're
just
just-
take them out.
Take the bulbs out, there's no lights in the back, so we've done that. The contractor was doing a poor job and would not respond. So she opted to fire him. And I caught the plane, came down here. What we found was that documents were submitted, and I actually submitted him the documents as well. Drawings that the city requested. We have a permit application. I think it's the code 489, where the homeowner can pull a building permit. And our purpose was.
Not for electrical reform.
Correct. Our purpose was to pull a building permit to satisfy the demo part, right? And the fireplace part. You mentioned that, that's why I kind of stood up, because we have a picture. Basically, the original fireplace had the black granite around it. And she took off the black granite, well, the guy did. It was nice, but anyway.
so this guy you had contractor, he continued to work without the
No.
permit, or he didn't even work, he just abandoned the job, what?
Yeah, pretty much.
He abandoned the job,
She
essentially,
had cameras,
left you guys hanging.
That kind of- a little painting, but that's it. I mean,
he piddled
you know,
and
it was bad. He
He-
did lie. He lied repeatedly.
he lied.
I
Quite
trust him.
frankly, he took her money. You know, when I approached him about it, he got totally offended.
You should report him.
Well, I've since found out that. Well,
Yes, so no.
he's a bad guy, so he's out,
Yeah.
He's out.
and we'd like to,
Right, he's out.
right,
He said the qualifier won't do this with him.
just yeah, exactly.
So we're just asking for some time so that we can become, you know, in compliance and move forward.
I've made numerous contacts with Adam. I'd like to see Jeff when he comes back from West Palm,
Yeah, we just. wanna be sure
and
that
we want to
got
get all our
everything done.
ducks in a row.
2 weeks,
2 weeks
Let me just say,
for the permit.
just so you guys understand, having this our. If you be within 2 weeks, hit the building bond with everything. you
I
need.
have been on the phone every day the past 3 or 4 days with Lindsay. And she actually sent me what has been submitted, which was nothing.
Is your mic on?
I can't hear him.
I received an email today from her. So we're doing what
Okay.
we feel
We're
like,
trying.
we're cleaning the
trying,
slate
yeah,
and
we're
want to
trying.
get in good faith with y'all. That's it.
Right.
And by the
So,
way,
yeah,
I
I mean,
love your shirt.
I think it's,
we have to, you know, set, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks to comply. 250 on the cost of prosecution for this. And
It's number three.
what?
It's number three.
Someone have it?
Do
Someone
you
have a
want to
motion?
say it?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I move that the respondents be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation, and that they be ordered to comply within 14 days or be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance, and assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
Seconded. Oh, 2 seconds.
Vice Chair Perlo,
Yes?
Member Murray,
Yes.
Member La Sorsa,
Yes.
and Vice Chairperson Schlong.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Next case is Jamaica Manners. That's CC 2022-07-005. And the violation observed was several plumbing vehicles and employees that were observed, and were told that they were repairing and replacing the lines with no permit on file, and they need to obtain a permit. That is Jamaica Manor. So turn it over to Mr. Ozowski.
This is case number CC 2022-07005. My name is Adam Osowski, and I've been previously sworn in. The respondent is Jamaica Manor, Inc., leasing. The property address is 2711 South Ocean Boulevard. I inspected the property on July 21st, 2022. The violations that remain as cited on today's agenda are 30-122A, plumbing repairs without a permit. The notice of violation was served by posting and certified mail on July 22nd, 2022. The respondent was given 14 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building records on September 7th, 2022, and the violation has been corrected.
Oh, good.
They obtained the permit. I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation. And the town is asking to assess the prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set by this board.
Okay, do we have anyone here from Jamaica Manor? We do. Okay. There's no more questions on this, right? Was there any more questions for Mr. Osowski? Any questions for?
What type of work was the pipes that they were working on?
There was a,
Sewer pipes or water pipes?
yeah, there
Or
was a,
drainage pipes?
there was the clogs with the sewage pipes. I believe the respondent can
Okay,
get more into the details
Oh, okay.
about that.
all right, let's have the respondent. What is your name and affiliation with Jamaica Manor?
And I'm going to strangle the contractor because he was supposed to be handling this. My name is Tammy Robinson. I'm the property manager. This was kind of sat in my lap on the 29th when I made a phone call because nobody at the facility was telling me that this was happening, neither was Raider Rooter.
Could you bring the mic a little closer to your face?
Sorry.
Thank you.
So I found out after the fact that the cast iron pipes under Jamaica Manor are 60 years old. Apparently, 3 of the units closest to the east end of their building cracked.
Mm.
And the sewer was backing up into 6, 7, and 8. And coming up their toilets, their showers, their drains. Apparently, the president of the board, the secretary treasurer of the board contacted Rapper Rooter.
I didn't know about it at the time. They didn't let me know. And they had them come out and do an emergency fixing of the pipes because it was pretty
Disgusting.
disgusting. So when I showed up on property, that's when I found out later on that they were fixing these cast iron pipes. And supposedly they were warned that they needed to get the permit, but due to the emergency of it, I guess they were told. And I don't know when they went to apply. I'm just going by what I have. Once I heard, I got the notice I saw it on the board when I showed up on property and contacted them immediately. And then they proceeded to send me through an email that they got an inspection card and that permit was finally done.
Good.
I don't know what happened in between that time. All I know is once I
So
heard
wait a
about it,
second,
I
you're
took
telling
care
me
of
the
it.
permit has been granted? You have a permit?
Yeah,
Okay. You have a permit now
Mhm.
Was-
and,
Was the final inspection done?
what?
Was the final inspection done?
I don't know.
Oh,
You can answer that. Go ahead. Sorry.
This was an emergency repair.
Yeah.
Mr. Remus was out there originally. He's the one that noticed it, told the contractor they needed, it's an emergency, it can happen. They need to get the permit. It was about 3 to 4 days. Nothing was even submitted, which is when I went out there based on my supervisor's complaint. The day I went out there and issued the notice of violation, that's when they finally submitted the permit.
that same day?
Yes. However, they started the work.
Well, it's an
Well,
emergency.
It's an
Yeah,
emergency
but
though.
it still needs a permit to make sure everything's done. This isn't a single family house. There are other people.
right.
So you're
And
saying 4
which is-
days went by and there was nothing issued.
Correct.
4
I mean-
days isn't that long.
Not
though.
on-
I mean,
not on-
Well, for that
They
condition,
spoke to the owner of Roto-Rooter and the permit runner that day, and they said, oh, we will submit everything. And it's an emergency for the field workers, but the office staff could have done the permit right then and there.
Yeah.
And then inspections protect the residents.
right.
Personally, I look at this like it's no violation. I mean, sewage work is horrible.
Yeah,
And then people need that
decent water.
water running and their sewage flushing. So for a 4-day lap, I mean, it's hard to.
I
sometimes-
agree. That was an emergency situation, just like the last one we had. But short of us having a definite time period to say, well, from the time of the emergency,
Right,
the respondent should have obtained a permit within 5 days or 7 days. We don't have a definite. So 4 days, I mean, it's not an exorbitant time, especially it could have been a weekend, right? Was it a weekend or a holiday? Labor Day
It
was
could
last
be.
week, I know I had a problem on Labor Day with my AC going kaput. 5 days, no AC. And I couldn't,
Yeah, they obtained the permit. We're not looking for a fine for the 4 days of not getting the permit. We're just seeking a finding of fact that they started the work without a permit and they obtained the permit after the correct by date.
Yeah, but here's the thing, they rightfully started the work. Because
they
it's an
had-
emergency and something like that needs to be done,
right.
and you do it first and then. It's better to ask for forgiveness, you know what I mean, in a situation like that. Than, going through paperwork, it's while you have sewage shooting up through your
Oh, God.
house. So
Is it a 2,
what?
So
1 or 2?
you're not looking for a fine.
That's up to you.
Correct.
No,
We're just looking for a finding of
He's looking
fact.
for a finding
Okay,
and.
I agree with
costs.
him.
He just wants the fine for
The cost.
yeah, we're looking just for the $250.
And the cost,
Prosecution.
that's the board's decision.
See, now when you have an emergency with sanitary sewer like that? And you only had 4 days and they
Yeah.
submitted for the permit the same day he comes out and finds them?
Yeah,
I don't look at that as anything but being punitive towards the homeowners.
true.
People should be able to breathe a little bit.
Breathe and have clean water.
But then if he would have went like a week and then he came back and said, you guys still didn't apply, I'd say, yeah, but 4 days and they submitted the same day he came and gave them the stuff. I think they were pretty on top of it as
Yeah.
a contractor and an owner.
Yeah, 4 days is
Yeah,
not an
that's-
exorbitant amount of time. I mean, if you were
Especially-
talking, weeks, months, I mean.
Well, it's either two. I think it's still
Either-
two. You want the
Well,
prosecution
I think-
costs.
You
I think it's-
guys
I
can
think it's-
feel free to discuss or make a motion.
I think it's no violation because how do you stand behind the guy with the fine going, oh, you're not done with your plumbing repair yet? And that's an emergency, but here. I feel like it's
But I think
unconscionable.
we should get prosecution costs, even if there's no
No,
violation.
And I don't.
I
because
also,
I gave him
I
no
also
room.
think we need to have for the future, a deadline for emergency issues.
Right.
Where if there's an emergency issue, you can do the work. Okay, you could do the work, but you need to have a permit within a certain amount of
I
time,
would suggest 5
After
business days.
5 business days.
I believe there is a deadline for emergency, like ACs, you can come in within 24 or 48 hours. I don't know what it
Oh,
is,
within
but
48 hours.
but
Yeah, yeah,
there is leeway for emergency repairs. I just don't know what that time frame is. And
Yeah, that I'm not
Jeff's not
sure
here,
about.
yeah.
Jeff's not here. I do know. Let's say the plumbing permit, normally if they do work without a permit in general, there's a state statute penalty 2.5 times the fee. In a case like this, that is an emergency where they started before, we wouldn't charge that penalty. We understand it's an emergency.
You're correct, sir, with the air conditioning, but that's 1 unit. This thing affected half of a building.
True.
So let's take that 48 hours times by how many units? 3? Miss,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
There's 7 units in that building.
Yeah,
I
but there was
believe,
only
right?
partial.
Yeah,
Three of them.
Three of the units were affected.
That's 6 days. Like,
That,
I don't think we should be punishing people for stuff.
All
like
right, then make a motion.
Make
I
the
make a
motion.
motion that it's no
and
violation.
that was a
no
decision by,
fine.
um,
I mean, you can't
Building
jump
official.
on these
So
people.
is there a
Is
second?
there a second to that?
I still think we should collect prosecution. It's time. Time is money, honey.
Well, see, but there's a time for time is money. To me, it's too aggressive.
Well, the
So-
town,
You can only collect the cost if you actually find there's a violation. So if there's no violation.
no
they don't-
violation, we can't get the cost.
Correct.
Okay,
Right. Well, I don't feel there's a violation when you have how many units was affected?
3.
So if you could use it,
to 4, but they went.
okay.
3 minutes.
So if you just took the AC thing, which is 2 days, and you have 3 units, which is 2 days each, that's 6 days. And they actually preemptively stopped having an 8-day window to put in a permit. So that's how I'm looking at it. I don't think they should have.
I'll
any-
second that.
Thank you.
So the motion was no violation in a second.
Motion of no violation.
Member La Sorsa,
Yes.
Vice Chair Perlo,
Yes.
Member Murray,
Yes.
Chairperson Slam,
Yes.
motion carries.
no.
All righty. Next case, Joshua and Megan Davison on Russell Drive. It's case number 22-07-007.
Who's the next 007?
Violation is life safety pool barrier. It was observed that there was an open and exposed pool with a fence in disrepair. And, according to the guideline, according to the statutes, all pools are supposed to be totally fenced with, I believe, like a 2.5 foot fencing or
48.
something like that,
Taller than
23.
48 inch.
So I'll turn it over to our code enforcement officer for clarification.
Hey, this is case number CC 2022 -07-007. My name is Adam Osowski, Town of Highland Beach Code Compliance Officer, and I have been previously sworn in. The respondent is Joshua A. and Megan M. Davison. The property address is 1015 Russell Drive. I inspected the property on July 26, 2022. The life safety violation that remains as cited on today's agenda is IPMC 303.2 swimming pool not enclosed. The notice of violation was served by posting and certified mail on July 26, 2022. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the property this morning, September 13th, 2022, and the violations continue to exist. There has been an in-pool alarm that was installed, but it's currently defective. But a new one has been placed on order. I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends that the respondent be found in violation for the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance. The town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
So we're talking about here a fence that is missing a piece to it, or there's no fence? What?
There's a lot of access points to this. This is a multifamily unit. So there's no fence around the pool specifically. They either need to add the fence around the pool, or in just gentleman's case, he actually installed an in-pool alarm. So if a child falls in, an alarm will activate.
This is more serious than anything I've seen since I've been here.
Really?
This is, kids drown, adults drown. And then the latch for the gatehouse be higher than the gate. This is the most serious thing I've seen since I've been on this board.
Well, this
So there's supposed to be a fence around the pool.
perimeter.
The pool,
Yeah,
unless
around-
there's a canal in the back, that would be a rough thing.
We don't have that at my place.
So this is a number 3?
This might be a category 5. What-
Category 5, whoa.
The property owner is present as well.
Oh, we have the property owner here. Okay. This is, which property is this? The Russell Drive, okay, is that? Oh, okay, there he is. You want
Come up.
You want to come on up and tell us? Your name and affiliation?
Josh Davison, affiliation is the president of the association. So for the records, this is not my property. This is the Shamrock One condominium. So please do not put this personally against me. So after long story short, we had a deck redone in the back. The contractor failed to understand what pool barrier code was. That was added as part of the inspection. As property owner, I had no understanding of what pool barrier inspection meant. I tried numerous attempts to communicate with the town code inspectors, building officials to understand and interpret the code. Once I finally got a clear answer that a pool alarm would be sufficient, I went ahead and ordered it. I can show you the dates of when I ordered it. So upon receiving the first violation notice or the warning, within a few days, I went ahead and ordered a pool alarm.
So that supersedes the fence?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Once I received the pool alarm, I installed it. It was working properly, and it's cheap plastic. The button broke off. So I had to send that one back, and I have another order here for a new one, which I'm currently waiting on. So that's why when he inspected it this morning, we were still under violation. So
What about the latch on the gate?
that has all been repaired.
So.
But
up-
our property is very unique. So we have 2 buildings on the intercoastal, or on the canal on the intercoastal. And in between our unit is a stairway that can go up and then down into the backyard, and that has no gate on it. So I was it's a very tricky code to interpret when you read private pool safety barriers. Do you need a gate there? Because all of our other gates that lead into the back of the property are working with the correct latches at the moment.
So what are you doing about that hole?
Nothing. So per the town code compliance officer and Jeff, a pool alarm will be sufficient enough to meet this code.
Okay,
It's either or, yeah.
Right.
You need, okay, one or the other. Pool alarm.
So I don't know if I need
I
to
feel
submit
better
this
now.
for evidence or it's, I'm not trying, yeah, of course, I totally agree with you. I have a young daughter. We want this to be a very safe property. It's just the interpretation of this specific rule has been ultimately very hard to get to a final resting place. So I think we have a solution. I'm literally just waiting for it to be shipped.
so what was the town's recommendation again?
To install a pool alarm.
Okay, and then what was your recommendation as far as,
I mean, we're asking for the date set by the board, if it's not, and the $250 prosecution cost.
Okay,
And then if it's, the pool alarm is not installed by a date that you set, a daily fine of $250 per day.
when do you think you're gonna have your alarm?
I have the order receipt. It was placed on September 3rd. I still don't have a,
But you had one in, but it,
yeah,
failed.
so I actually played, when was the date of the first notice you left me? That was in the morning.
I was out there July 26th.
oh, it's a long time.
all
You
right,
have Amazon Prime?
but you put
Yeah.
in an
Next
alarm
day.
since
Just
then, right?
that specific alarm is not part of Amazon Prime, so it's
Too
shipped by a
bad.
third party. So I placed the order. So that was the original notice. I didn't get clarification from Mr. Remus until a few weeks later, where we came to an ultimate agreement. Okay, this is what's going to solve your problem is a pool alarm. So I placed that order on August 11th. Okay.
That was the first alarm that.
First
failed.
alarm.
Okay.
I got a refund August 24th. And then a few days later, I placed an order for a new one.
And this is one specific company that you have to order from.
No, there's multiple alarm options, but some of them have to be installed differently. It just depends on how we want to install it based on how our pool's set up.
I hope for your sake it comes in and it's good, because if not, you got two duds.
Yeah, well, if not, then we're going with a different manufacturer.
So what do you think? 2 weeks?
Yep,
I mean, even I would say 2 weeks is fine. I would ask, I respect your time. This probably shouldn't have even come to you guys. I would hate for our condo association to be
okay.
fined for anything. I tried my best to comply with this as best as, our association could.
It appears that way.
So we're looking at a number 3.
I think you're correct.
Yes. Okay. I move the respondents to be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation, and that they be ordered to comply within 14 days or be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance, and assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
I second.
Vice Chair Perlo,
Yes.
Member LaSorsa,
Yes.
Member Murray,
Yes.
Chairperson Slam.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
think this is our last one. Case number CC 2022-08-001. That's at Bel Air. The violation was observed exterior work being done to the front of the building with no permits on file. Turn it over to the code enforcement officer.
This is case number CC 2022-08-001. My name is Adam Osowski and I've been previously sworn in. The respondent is 1114 Bel Air LLC. The property address is 1114 Bel Air Drive 1. I inspected the property on August 1st, 2022. The violations that remain as cited on today's agenda are 30-122A, building permits required for exterior work. The notice of violation was served by posting on August 2nd, 2022, after certified mail was sent on August 1st, 2022. The respondent was given 14 days to come into compliance. The notice of hearing was served by posting and certified mail sent on August 29th, 2022. Prior to today's hearing, I re-inspected the building records on September 8th, 2022, and the violations continue to exist.
Huh.
I have submitted the following evidence, which includes proof of service, supporting documents, and photographs. The town recommends that the respondent be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance. The town is asking to assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance.
So my question is, they have permits for all their interior work and they failed to get the outside permit.
Correct.
I don't, how lazy are you? They're doing all that work. All
They
right,
had permits for the inside, but not the outside.
Correct.
amazing.
Amazing.
The scope of work is the scope of work. All right. I'm gonna-
Okay, do we have an offender here? Okay.
Oh, he wasn't sworn in.
He wasn't
No,
sworn.
No,
was
I thought,
not.
no,
Janelle's.
Wehrman,
You can please stand and raise your right hand. By the authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay, you could come up and just give your name and association, your affiliation.
My name is Jose Eduardo Menezes. I the supervisor for Elise Homes. Is the contractor for that building.
for the contract.
Okay,
Yes. We have some issue for the oldest supervisor. We did apply, but he applied only for interior. If you check the plans shows the job outside, but he didn't mention anything on the permit. So we contact our architect. He did a new plan for outside for demolition. If the plan is ready and we're gonna apply today,
okay.
new permit.
All right, so you can have it within 2 weeks, right? You'll have it within
No,
2 weeks?
it's ready.
I
We're
got a
gonna apply.
question. I got
You got a question, okay.
He just stated, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it shows the work on the plan, the new
Yes.
work.
Correct. The
And
plans, the
So
plan,
when you guys filled out the application, and it's usually gives a breakdown of demolitions, doesn't it?
yes, we have a demolition plan over there. And the plan shows, but the older supervisor, when he applied for just interior, not for the exterior.
Yeah.
So when we receive the notes, we stop.
You didn't submit the entire plan to the city?
Yes, we did.
I'm missing something.
Somebody,
Yeah, it's a little bit,
somebody
yeah, it's a
dropped the
little bit
ball.
confused on the
Yeah, I'm a
plans.
little-
not
Somebody
showing.
dropped the ball.
If the
Yeah,
city
on the
has the
elevation
plans.
plans from the architect shows the job outside.
But he forgot
But
to
he
ask.
didn't put on the permit, we're gonna do the work outside.
Who didn't put it?
The
The
oldest
the older
supervisor.
supervisor.
So he's the
Yeah.
one who dropped
He
the
just
ball. He
did
made a
the-
careless error
Careless,
by
Exactly.
Right.
what we call a scrivener's error. or
Yeah,
something
we
like that,
stopped, we
okay?
stopped the job and communicate to the architect, and he did
Right.
the new
And
plans.
you're on it now. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
You have a new plan now?
he's got a new
Yes,
plan.
we-
Yes.
Where's the new plan?
We're gonna submit.
Oh, you're gonna
Today.
submit it,
Yes.
okay.
Thought you said
Boy,
you
yeah.
submitted it today.
Okay, so they would never had a demolition on the outside on the original submission.
Oh, no,
That's what he's saying.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, she's right. It's a number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I
You
was
want to
gonna say
do
that
it?
Anyway.
Or should I?
You have
I'll
such a
do it. Okay.
Philip Floridian
Number
voice.
3, I move that the respondents be found in violation of the town code as alleged in the notice of violation and that he, she, they be ordered to comply within 14 days or be fined $250 per day for each day the violation remains after the date set for compliance and assess prosecution costs in the amount of $250 payable by the date set for compliance. Usted va a tener 14 días.
Thank you.
Muy bueno.
Well, I'm bilingual.
Segundo.
Is there
I
a
said-
It
second?
may have been a language issue with the
No, it
older
wasn't
guy
a
too.
language issue. If they didn't submit the plan, the
Yeah.
city never saw it.
Possibly.
I second it. Did I second? I said.
Yeah.
Okay. Vice Chair Perlo,
Yes.
Member La Sorsa,
Yes.
Member Murray,
Yes.
Chairperson Slam,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay.
So.
Any announcement?
1 second here.
No.
To the end. Okay, board member reports. The public hearing is now closed. Okay, board member reports. There are none. Announcements, September 21st, 2022 at 5:01 PM. Town Commission Special Second Public Hearing Budget Meeting. September 28th, 2022, 9:30 AM, Natural Resources Preservation Advisory Board Special Meeting. October 10th, 2022, Town Hall closed in observation of Columbus Day. October 11th, that is our next meeting, 1 PM, Code Enforcement Board, regular meeting, October 11th, put it in your calendars. And then October 13th, there's a Planning Board, regular meeting at 9:30 AM. And October 27th at 11:30 AM is a Financial Advisory Board, regular meeting. And this time, the meeting is adjourned at 2:12 PM.
Very nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds
all.
good.